Yo, what's going down, everybody? Just straight out of Boston, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 7 of my MLB 14 The Show, Road to the Show. And today we are back in AAA with the Oklahoma City Redhawks. Saul Goodman got off to a slow start with the AAA squad for the Houston Astros last episode, only hitting .224 through the first couple of weeks of play. And you can see things are not getting any better currently. A strikeout there and a curveball in the dirt, and now later in the game it's going to be another strikeout and another curveball. This time it bounces. The throw will have to be made to first, but it is in time. So we start out with an 0 for 4 with a couple of Ks. Not a great start to this episode, and we're going to follow it up with another poor performance, another 0 for. You can see we actually reached base this time on a fielder's choice, but another strikeout. We actually grounded to a double play as well. So things are not looking up right now. Down 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th, and we're going to end up taking this pitch to deep left field. That one is back, and that one's actually going to get out of here. That was a line shot. I did not think that was getting out, but it ends up kind of in that first little, I guess, like window of, I don't know what that is. It's kind of a cool thing. These aren't any like real stadiums, like the minor league stadiums or whatever in this game, but that is still pretty cool. And I don't know, it'd be cool if a stadium like incorporated that, but it's probably not good for seating capacity. Nonetheless, here we turn a nice double play in the field. So our fielding, although has been shoddy for most of the year, still making some nice plays. We're trying to not let the offense or the offensive struggles affect the defensive struggles, or just affect our defense in general. A lot of the time, one will kind of affect the other for a lot of young players, and we're going to try and prevent that. So we only go 1 for 4 today, but we do end up making that one a big one, and it was a solo shot in the 7th inning. Now, next game, 1-0, we are on top, and that's going to be driven into right center field for a base hit. So that one's going to get all the way to the wall. Nice line shot over the head of the second baseman, and finally we're starting to square the ball up, maybe turning some things around. We halt at second, we get an RBI on the play. That is going to tie the game up at 1, I do believe. Actually, it might have given us the 2-0 lead, I don't quite remember. But either way, a nice hit ball, and we end up going 2 for 4 this game. So they're starting to turn things around, hopefully. You can see, though, we're only 3 for our last 16 in the last 4 games. Average is down to 217, so still the overall stats not looking good. But I've been pretty, I guess, encouraged with the last couple of at-bats. But we get hit here, and this is going to start to become a little bit of a theme for this episode. You'll see it again. But Goodman gets hit on the back, kind of in the back leg or whatever. We end up going 1 for 3 that day with a single and also that hit by pitch, which turns into a run. So, hey, if that's what it's going to take to get on base, I will certainly take it. But we go to advance, and we get traded to the Tampa Bay Rays. Saul Goodman to the Rays for Chris Archer and Brandon Gomes. And you can see we have been traded to the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, this is something that I was a little bit surprised by, because the Astros are not a team you would think to be trading away their good young players. Plus, Matt Dominguez is okay, but I think they could still use another option at third base, especially because we can play the infield. But first things first, we have our Better Call Saul moment of the episode in our first at-bat with the Durham Bulls. Men on first and second, a big RBI chance right here, and we end up dribbling this one in front of the catcher. And that is going to end up being a ground out. So we kind of waste a run scoring opportunity right there. But I guess and like I said, I don't want to use the Better Call Saul graphic just when I have good moments, because I feel like I want to switch it up and keep you guys, I guess, not on the edge of your seats, but throw you guys off sometimes or whatever. Just, whatever. But, and so I was a little bit surprised by the trade. One, because, you wouldn't think the Astros would be a team to trade young players. So they did get Chris Archer back, who is a really good young pitcher. But the Rays, on the other hand, I don't know why they would want a good young third baseman when they have Evan Longoria locked up for the next, 7 years or whatever it is. So that surprised me, and I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm not exactly, upset to be leaving the Astros organization, considering it's a team that has not had a lot of success in recent years, and also it does not have in this game with the rosters, does not have the strong farm system that they have in real life. So anyway, I was kind of glad to be traded, but the Rays, I'm curious to see how things work out. I would totally be open to a position change for the betterment of the team, or maybe Longoria becomes the long-term DH, which I think is the more likely scenario. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, we're hitting the Durham Bulls, and we start out hot. We got 3 hits in our last game. This game, I'm taking the first pitch to deep left field. That one is back, and this one's going to go high up off that wall. Now, playing in the Durham Bulls home stadium, they have huge it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark if there ever was one. 375 feet to the corners with huge walls all around, big gaps. It's kind of a place made for someone with speed who can get the ball into the gaps and get some triples or whatever. But here we get hit again. This time it's a high fastball. Now, I wouldn't say this was intentional because it was on an 0-2 count, but once again, getting hit by a pitch. And like I said, Goodman's starting to get hit a little bit, and I'm not sure what it is. But like I said, if this is what it takes to get on base, I am totally okay with it as long as we don't get hurt. And when they do throw it up there, there's always the risk of getting hurt. So we go 1 for 3 that game, a double, and that hit by pitch. Next game, we end up going 1 for 4 with a nice little single. So nothing to show really in that game, but we're starting to do well. Got a little bit of a hit streak going, and we're just really starting to kind of find our stride in AAA. And right around the time of the trade, I think a change of scenery might have been good. It also just kind of represents a new option. The stats get cleared. You just get a new fresh start, so to say, and I think that was good for Saul Goodman. Anyway, we're going to be changing up our batting stance. I just have the compulsive need to change my batting stance every once in a while, and I really liked the Will Myers stance, but I changed it to Jed Lowry's. Lowry's one of my favorite players in baseball, and you can see we are still kind of a fool in the field. But Jed Lowry's one of my favorite players in baseball. Came up with the Red Sox, now plays for the Oakland A's. And I really like his stance in this game. I used Jed Lowry a lot in MLB 13 this show, and when I found out that the stance was the same in this game, I played with him a little bit in MLB 14, and I really like the stance. It's just such a nice, steady stance, but it's a little bit, closed, so to say. It's like with one foot in front of the other, so I kind of like it. And here we try to stretch out a triple into an inside the Parker. Probably not the smartest idea, but you always got to take those. You always got to take those chances when you get them. But I mean, look at the stance. I really like it. I think I'm going to be sticking with it for a while. And that ball, we just absolutely crushed into center field. That is long gone off the batter's eye out there in center field. And that's going to be a home run. Saul Goodman's first home run as a Durham Bull. Hopefully not his last, unless he gets called up in the next couple of days. But either way. So yeah, Jed's stance, I imagine I'll be sticking with for a while. Because like I said, really like the play, really like the stance. Gene Segura has the same stance, I believe. And I use Gene Segura a lot in MLB 13 as well, so... Anyway, we go 2 for 4 that day. We get a double and a home run. Next game, we get a single and a walk. We end up going 1 for 4, but we do reach base in a walk, so sort of 2 for 5, so to say. I guess would be our OBP numbers, but either way, next game, you can see we're taking that one to deep left field. That one is back, and that is going to end up just hitting off the top of the wall. Now, the runner's actually not going to come around and score because he was holding up thinking that ball might be caught. But check out the replay. This one was really badly played by the left fielder. A little bit comical. This is the AAA team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's the left fielder, Jeff Decker, however you say it. Kind of runs into the wall, completely misses the ball. I thought that was pretty comical. So, anyway, 5-0 here. And that ball is smacked deep center field. And although we don't get no-doubt home runs on a couple of these, there was a couple where I just knew they were gone right off the bat. And we're hitting home runs in this, huge pitcher-friendly high-walled Durham Bulls home park, so that's pretty exciting. You can see we end up giving that to, I believe that is Kirk Newmeyer, something like that, who's supposed to be a good prospect for the Rays. And then that one smoked deep right field, and that one is another one that I just knew right off the bat. That's gone. So we're really starting to hit our stride here in Durham. We're starting to get our power up, and I'm thinking, if we hit our stride here, maybe we can get that call up sooner rather than later. The Rays, a team that is expected to be in the hunt this year for a playoff spot and a World Series title. Maybe we come up late in the year, provide that spark, much like Xander Bogaerts did to the Red Sox in 2012 or Manny Machado to the Orioles in 2011. Maybe we can be that type of player. We go 3 for 4 this game. We get player of the game, a pair of home runs, as well as a double early in the game that you saw earlier. So anyway, that's our first player of the game of the episode. I believe that might have been our first player of the game in AAA, so that's a good sign, a welcome sight, and you can see the final stat line. 3 for 4, as I said, hits in the 4th, 5th, and 7th inning. Next couple of clips are just going to be a couple more stat lines from different games. We follow it up with an 0 for 5 performance, not our best. We're going to take a look here at how we're doing so far in AAA, kind of a stat update, hitting 263, 6 homers. No advanced or deep in-depth stats or whatever here, but I figured I'd show the basics. And we followed up with the 2 for 4 performance. So, like usual, I don't like to show kind of every game just to get singles or whatever, but we get hit again, the 3rd time this episode. I don't think we had been hit up until this episode, but now we've been hit 3 times in the matter of just a couple of weeks here. Twice with Durham. I don't know what it is. We end up going 0 for 3 that game, but we do get on base in the 8th. So, we're going to follow it up, wrap up this episode with a 4-game set against the Pawtucket Red Sox. Now, you can see how the Bulls are doing right now. We are 40 and 43. So, a little bit below 500, not exactly where we want to be. Hopefully, we can help turn that around. If Goodman can get hot, he can really help out a team like the Durham Bulls. So we go 1 for 4 in the first game, second game of this series, and we crush that one to deep left center field. That one is back, and that's a no-doubt home run, easily clearing the wall right there. And I believe that actually might have hit off the scoreboard or gone under it or something. But that was a shot, a no-doubter, and that is a solo home run. For Saul Goodman is 7th now in AAA, and I believe that's his 5th of the episode, because I do believe we entered the episode with 2. So Goodman, like I said, really starting to catch fire. And now that's a line shot. That is deep into left center field. And that one is going to clear the wall. Now that one we don't quite hit as hard. Or I guess I should say we didn't quite hit that one as high. But we hit it on a line shot and that gets out of here. Check that out. You can even tell right off the bat the trajectory of the ball was pretty low. But either way, it clears the fence and that's all that matters. So another home run. Very similar spot. As you can see, this is going to go right under the scoreboard. Kind of one hops under it or whatever, but later in the game, 10-5, bases loaded, and that's going to be a line drive under the glove of the third baseman, and that will get through for a base hit. 2 runners will come around and score, and it's a 2 RBI single for Goodman, and now you're really starting to see Saul leave his imprint on these games. He goes 4 for 5 this game, scores 3 runs, 2 home runs, 5 RBI, and the Saul that we all saw in AA dominate and carry his team to the record that they had before he got called up. You're starting to see that Saul Goodman come out once again, this time for the Durham Bulls. Don't know why the Astros gave up on the kid. He was the first overall draft pick like 12 months ago or whatever, because I guess the draft happens in June. But either way, 4 for 5, 2 home runs and 2 singles. Followed up in the third game of the set with a 1 for 4 with a single in the first and then a couple of outs later in the game. And we end up wrapping up the series here with an 0 for 5. So a couple slow games to end the series, but nonetheless, we definitely caught fire this episode. Now I believe we got our average up to like 280 or something. So good signs all around for Goodman. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. And just out. Peace.